heard that.
But maybe you did hear it, Casey. But we're live now. We're another episode, and in this episode, we're gonna talk short term, not too wide of a span of time, about what did the left do that lost this election, and not just the presidency, but the House, the Senate, a whole bunch of governorships, and a lot of state legislative seats. I mean, they're obviously not doing something right. So Elliot, like throw something out there. Let's just start it off.
So you're asking why they went sideways, or
Yeah, what did they do in this election that just lost everything for them?
calling half the country deplorables, racist, sexist, deplorables.
Exactly. 'Cause, like, why would you expect people to vote for you if you're just going to insult them? It's a stupid thing. I mean, and plus, I mean, it's been worse than ever. I mean, I like to say 2014 or 2015, one of those years, the year social justice broke the surface and came out. And then, of course, once you could start calling your enemies racist, sexist, homophobic, all that crap, I mean, do you really expect them to vote for you at that point? Like, it's insane.
You alienated your voter base.
Exactly. It's so it's such a bad tactic. And then I mean, what good is that gonna do? Like, you've just alienated a good, like, at least 40% of the country, and another 10% is just gonna look at you and be like, you guys are nuts, and just leave anyway. So, I mean, the name calling definitely did not help. Casey, what's something else besides, like, the whole name calling issue that you think that was a central pillar to them just utterly failing?
They went against their, first of all, they went against the wishes of their own party. That was one of the things there. Like, clearly, there was more support for Bernie Sanders, but they rigged that against him. Yeah. They clearly did that. I mean, what was it? Bernie Sanders won New Hampshire. He won over a majority of the votes of the delegates for the Democratic. Well, I forget the term for it. The primary there.
Yeah, the Democratic.
For the Democratic primary there in New Hampshire, you won over half the vote there, but Hillary got over half the delegates because all the super delegates went to Hillary, and then she won like 40% of the pledged delegates, and it was rigged against Alberno, and of course
Alberno.
I mean, it's base socialist grandpa,
Good economics grandpa.
Yep. It's honestly, but I mean, exactly. That's honestly just, it's despicable, and I mean, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, I think Hillary just wanted it to do, 'cause she's like, I want my chance to
It's
run.
my turn, and that's like, Hillary.
It's like,
please,
people
baby.
will vote for me. I can make meme references. I could talk to young people. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just so stupid. It's like, I mean, it's like, Hillary, like, look, I realize you're slowly going insane, and I realize you really need this for whatever reason. I mean, I realize you're like at half. Wait, can women be? I don't know if women can be at half mast, but you're at half mast, and you need this. But it's just like, why would you rig your own primary? Like, no one's gonna trust you anymore. Like, the fact that you would do that, like, I guarantee you guys, I doubt any Democrat has the same trust that they did in the DNC that they did before this election. I think everyone has been hurt, and especially the millennials, because, I mean, when you look at the projections for, like, Bernie Sanders could get people out. He could energize young people, get them out. Trump could do it too, but like when Hillary comes up, I mean, you piss off all the young people, and they just, and most of them didn't switch. Of course, we did, but oh, what is this? What is this? You know what? I'll show Casey. I'll show that picture on stream.
Oh my god.
Not on stream, sorry, on the sorry, it's a streaming software, but whatever. I'll show that picture because that is quality.
You want to know what's really the best part about this picture?
Hmm.
The fact that's a Shadman reference.
There you go.
Of course.
Of course, it's a fucking Shadman reference.
As per tradition. Oh God, it's huge.
I mean,
I mean,
shit, I'm editing the wrong one. Let's
fucking deplorable.
remember, we all are.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's a term that's for all of us.
I know, but
Just for me,
I just
it's
give it to
for
Ryan.
all of us.
Is that-
It's and also, I mean, but just the fact that they would rig their own primaries just so they could get someone who's in the system to vote. It's honestly like did they really expect this to like work? Like,
Yeah, that's why they went ahead and did it.
well, I mean, look, but work with no consequences. Like, I don't know why they just expected. Yeah, okay, there we go. There we got the picture up. Now it's working. Yep, there goes Hillary Clinton schlonged by a wiener. Just fucked my shit up.
Oh my god, that got even funnier as I realized it was fucking Anthony Weiner. That was the downfall of her campaign.
Schlonged by a wiener. And the curse of wiener strikes again. But,
Women he goes near just get fucked up.
yeah, well, fuck, don't go near him then. Learn, damn it, learn.
It's kind of hard when the person you scissor with at night is married to him. So
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah,
Well, of course. I mean, Paul Ryan, I think is only gonna give support to Trump when his wife's boyfriend tells him it's okay. One of my favorite jokes
God
I've
damn
ever
it.
one of my favorite jokes I've ever heard. But really, like what happens? I mean, first of all, and let's just straight up throw the obvious out there. Don't acknowledge the memes. Don't acknowledge them ever. Like, and I don't know why the left doesn't get this. They say we can talk to young people, but you acknowledge the memes.
yeah. If you acknowledge the memes, it's over.
Trump basically said build a wall, and then he never said it again. And the thing
Yeah,
was, and then the
the
train
left
just got
ran
rolling.
with it.
And the thing
Yeah,
is,
the left.
yeah. No, go ahead, Elliot.
Yeah, the left ran with that. Oh, he's racist against Mexicans. It's like, no, he isn't.
Yeah.
There's like first, it's the same kind of like, it's where people. It's the left is really bad about this, where they take a group of people, and they misconstrue. Like, how do I put this? Like they do the same thing with with Islam and Muslims. Like when they think, oh, you're racist against Muslims. Like Muslim's not a race. Like Islam isn't a race. Like,
I mean,
when they say
they just think, oh, it's generic brown people.
or when they think, oh, he wants to boot all the Mexicans. Like they're fucking conflating illegal immigrants with Mexicans, and it's
which is racist in and of itself, which is kind of the true irony.
It's ironic.
And
it's
I mean,
very ironic.
The other thing that I find just annoying as hell is when when this woman, this Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks, when Hillary Clinton is apologizing for saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I called all of Donald Trump's supporters a basket of she called half of his supporters a basket of deplorables." I mean, and she runs with it and is like, you know what? They are deplorable because you can't support this man because if you do, you're racist, you're misogynist, you're bigoted, you're all this ists and isms and phobias and stupid bullshit. It's like when you say this, do you really expect people to vote for you? Like, are you a moron? Like, and I don't even care that you're a woman. Like, I'm just straight up gonna say, like, I don't even care that you're a woman. You're a fucking bitch. You know what? I'll straight up say it. You're a fucking cunt. Just stop it. Just go away.
It's time to stop.
Young Turks. Look. Where are your parents? I mean, okay. Look, Jank. I don't care if you're listening. You might not. You probably won't. Of course he's not, because he doesn't listen to anybody. He just shouts them down. But I mean, like when he watches opposing arguments on YouTube, he probably just talks to himself so he doesn't have to hear it, and he can say he watched it. He can say he watched
Talks
it, but
to
he
himself to drown out the fucking video,
well that way he can say he watched it without actually listening. But there you go.
or just leaves it on in the background as he does other things.
I mean, it's like you know what? I'm just gonna like fucking put up all their fucking pictures because like fucking young Turks. I mean, what are you guys doing? Like, it's. I mean, you guys actually used to be, like, you actually used to be the rebels. You actually used to be the, like I said, you used to be the rebels. You used to be the opposition. You used to be on the bottom, but you're not anymore. You guys are on the winning. You guys are we're on the winning side. And you say you can't make comedy that talks down to people. Well, you're talking down to people all the fucking time.
They are losing the game of 4D battle chess, boys.
I know they just can't fucking win it, and it's stupid because it's their own damn fault, and they want to pretend it isn't. It's
Exactly.
I mean, it's like why would you like and plus I mean when Trump won. When the votes came in, they said, okay, Donald Trump's going to be the next president of the United States.
Libtards everywhere collectively shot themselves.
Well, this man, I mean, you know what? I get really pissed off when people call people the token this on a thing, like the token black guy or the token Asian or any of that kind of shit. Like, I get really pissed off when people say that, but like, I mean, why else would these people? I mean, I really think these guys are playing the game that they get mad at other people for playing. Because okay, why do they think they have the need to have a woman, a gay guy, like some black people, and Cenk was former Muslim and all
minority brigade.
Yeah, they have to have everyone. But it's like, but the thing is, I watch all these people, and I remembered back in the old days, like the only people I ever listened to were Cenk and Dave Rubin, because Dave Rubin was actually smart, and those are the only two people. Because at least Cenk, like for a while, was actually intelligent, and I could listen to him. It's John is a fucking moron. Like he has nothing to add to the debate. I mean, Anna fucking doesn't have anything to add to anything. I mean,
wow.
and then there are other two guys. I forget the other two guys' names.
That's how irrelevant they are. No one remembers their fucking names.
Yeah, but I want to remember these guys' names because, like Ben Mankiewicz, this guy's an idiot. I mean, this guy is.
Look at this fuck.
I mean, he used to be like look at this. Just look at him. He's just a fucking moron, and I don't get it. I do not understand it. I don't understand people can take that man seriously because he doesn't sound smart. Like, at least Cenk can sound smart. And at least Anna can kind of sound smart. John, not really. John, not really. But
until she goes on a tirade of meaningless bullshit.
Well, that too. I mean, once that happens, I mean, it's all over. But
you just want to fucking gouge your eyes out because it is more. You will be in less pain than staring at that fucking banshee.
Yep. Come on, who's the other guy that really is just so stupid? I mean, he was basically ranting and raving about how who's this man? No, it's probably not him. But he was just ranting and raving after the Trump won. It was like, oh my God, you're all racist. I can't believe the country's racist and misogynist and all this crap. And it's like, you guys are. I mean, can you guys look in the mirror for once and realize you guys are the reason that you're losing? Like, we're not the reason you're losing. You're losing. I mean, when you lose, like Elliot, when you lost a football game, could you point to the enemy team and say they cheated?
That would be retarded.
Exactly.
That would legitimately be retarded. We would all collectively have fucking Down syndrome if we did that. In addition to looking entitled as fuck.
Exactly.
But we didn't fucking cheat. It's like they fail to look at the history of what the Clintons are capable of doing and have done in the past. So why the fuck would you point to the opposite party and say that they cheated? That's fucking projection. They want to divert, like, We all know Clinton's into some shady ass shit. So to get the fucking spotlight off that, well, we'll just point at Donald's group. We'll point at those alt-righters, which
Those
after
those deplorables.
those. No, I was reading a comment I saw on Reddit. It was actually a pretty reasonable comment for world news, ironically enough, on the concept of the alt-right and how it's just this one massive blanket term that the left likes to use because it likes to group in the Nazis, the racist, and then
The reasonable people.
the reasonable people all grouped together, and then you can all say that they're all racist and deplorable. And then the far right loves that term because it gets more people
makes
into
it
the
seem
camp.
it makes it seem like they're larger than they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's just a stupid thing because, and this is, and then I'll talk. I want to ask Casey about this. I mean, isn't it it's just so stupid how, I mean, what's a better way to look at the world, collectivism or individualism?
Neither.
Well, if you had the choice, would you bunch everyone together or would you judge each individual by themselves?
Well, you judge each individual by themselves, obviously.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm assuming, Casey, you'd agree with that. But like, would you also just not agree that the left has a massive tendency to like just go collectivist and group people?
Well, that's what they label. That's what they use to rally themselves. So they use it to both ends of the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is that the problem with the left is they've been literally coalition building for so long that they group people into groups and they assume they all think the same.
All these black people over here are gonna vote Democrat no matter
And
what.
all these gays are gonna vote Democrat as well.
No.
That's the thing. They've stuck so much with these coalition. The thing though with the gays, for example, is they've got everything they've wanted now. Like literally, we have, even Trump says the issue of gay marriage isn't. The Supreme Court decided it's not an issue anymore.
Yep.
Like, what's the left gonna do? Literally, they have nothing to offer them now. Like,
Exactly.
they literally have nothing to offer them. Oh, we'll give you this or that. No, they got marriage. They have the right to do all this stuff. Like, I don't know.
I mean, they have everything they ever wanted. I mean, they're it's basically
Not
UKIP.
until we're a true communist state will they ever be satisfied.
Exactly. But like they're almost like UKIP. Like UKIP was started with the express purpose of getting the UK out of the European Union. And when they did, Nigel Farage, I'm done.
Fuck y'all, I'm out.
Exactly. He played the game until he won, and then he quit. He quit while he was up. I mean, that's
Quit
what
while
you
you're
do.
ahead.
I mean, it's just, I think it's just embarrassing, really. I mean, this is the party of FDR and of JFK. I mean,
Ah.
fuck. I mean, you guys had something to offer back then, but now, like, what have you got? What have you got anymore? Like, oh, we'll give you free healthcare. Well, I mean, if you want to bankrupt the American population, go ahead. I mean,
Well, the thing about that, right, is it's just you can give every American affordable health care, but you don't go with the whole NHS. America is too big for that. What you logically should do is do a 2-tier system and then encourage people to become doctors. But that's not.
but the thing is, we want black doctors, and we all know.
Okay, don't get me started on fucking affirmative action. Like, the thing was, they meant well by it. Like, I get it. It was designed to offset, the stack deck that minorities play with. But the thing is, if it's a stack deck and they pass anyway, then that makes them superior. So why would you want to lower the bar?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I mean, and also the thing is even if it is a stacked deck, I mean, sooner or later you'll get so many. I mean, if black people were encouraged to get into these things, and they actually did, and through no affirmative action, all of a sudden you have I mean, black people starting businesses, becoming doctors, lawyers, all and getting in these really high paying jobs and actually joining the middle class. Pretty soon, it's going to equalize itself out anyway. But it starts. I mean, as you and I have said, with the culture. But does the left want that culture, the culture, to be renovated? No, they want to keep them stuck in affirmative action, stuck on welfare, and so they'll keep voting for them.
Mm-hmm.
That is the true racism in the country at this point. The fact that you can basically force one whole minority to just get completely attached to your party and then just assume they're going to vote Democrat.
Basically,
I mean, like, how would you fix, like, how would I stop, the gang violence in fucking Illinois or something? Well, step one is you get a Republican mayor in there, and sure, life is gonna suck for a little while. When you're fixing problems this bad, it's not gonna be an easy fix.
you're gonna have to torch it. You're gonna bring a torch to this fucking thing and burn it the fuck down and rebuild.
Exactly.
Like, this isn't something you can just renovate. You gotta have to burn it down, rebuild, like redo all the fucking infrastructure. Just it's too much work to go in and renovate it than it is just to tear it down and rebuild.
Well, yeah. Well, like I was saying, like you get.
What the fuck?
God damn, your phone is loud.
Jesus, insane Christ, mate.
What the hell was that?
Anyway,
That was pretty loud. It scared me. It made me jump a little bit.
Fuck, I forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, I'll continue with my point.
Burning it down.
Burning it all down.
I know that.
But what I was saying is if you get a Republican as mayor of Illinois.
Is this Detroit or Chicago? We're talking about?
Chicago.
Oh,
Sorry, not Republican mayor of Illinois. That's stupid. Get like a Republican governor or a Republican mayor of Chicago or something like that. But what you need to do is you need to give everyone more gun rights in there. Now, initially, it sounds like a bad idea. I mean, it sounds like a bad idea. Fight fire with fire. But the thing is are these gang members
mutually assured destruction? Like, I'm just gonna throw a quick anecdote. Sorry to interrupt you, but
that's fine.
Mutually assured destruction. If it works with nations, it can work with people. I don't see why the left doesn't see that. Because the nukes are scary. They're destructive, but that's their purpose. They're designed to keep people from killing each other through sheer force of power alone.
Exactly.
And that just it baffles me. Like, why would you want to ever restrict gun rights? Because you'll end up having less gun violence anyway. Because if everyone's armed, people are less likely to shoot each other. Like, we've all seen the fucking like Western movies, right? When like a bad guy or whatever walks in the bar, it turns out everyone's fucking armed, and they all point guns at the guy.
He has to really think about if he wants to shoot the good guy or not.
Exactly. Because mutually assured destruction's a thing.
If he draws his gun and shoots, everyone in the place is going to cap him. So
precisely. So, like, it's the same concept, and I don't understand why they are so reticent about it. But then again, putting one more millisecond of thought into it, it has dawned on me that wait, this is the same party that wants to just dismantle nuclear weapons from the United States. Wow. I guess they don't believe the. Okay, so to be fair, I don't believe in MAD either, but that's because I believe in the SDI program.
Exactly.
Because fuck MAD.
We need space. We need space lasers. We need space lasers.
Nah, fuck space lasers, dude. Kinetic weapons. They're better.
Tungsten rods drop from orbit.
Can double as orbital weapons too.
Yep. Why not do it? But see that's the thing is all you got to do is like if you're going to go to Chicago, just give these people gun rights. Like within like the first year is going to be horrible as it always is, but then after a while, when some of the law-abiding black citizens on the South Side start getting some handguns and start carrying them, with concealed carry or something, I mean those gang members are going to think twice before they roll down the street and try to do a drive-by. They're really going to think twice before they do something like that. And then also send the cops in there every once in a while, just send the cops in there. Like, they don't even have to do anything. Just roll through the streets. Just remind people that you are not above the law.
Which also gets us to the point. We should honestly, while we're at that, we don't forget about law enforcement as well. Because they're corrupt as fuck too.
Oh, of course.
So let's see here.
I mean,
so everything about Chicago needs to be burned to the ground.
Except the White Sox and the Cubs, we can keep them.
The Cubs, they have earned their spot as being immortal. They earned it.
Yeah.
They
Well, the
fucking
White Sox
earned it.
won the series, I think, in 2007, so they can stay too.
Lol, baseball. It's just like everything about that fucking place. It's just I don't get why people don't like compare Detroit and Chicago because they're very similar to how fucked they are.
Well, it's a city that's been ruled by Democrats for 30 plus years.
1,000 years. We all know 30 years is really 1,000 years.
Yeah. I mean,
In terms of memory.
I mean, granted, there are some Republican governorships and mayoral offices that haven't worked out very well, but I mean, I would say uninterrupted rule of that for either party would probably not end well.
Honestly, uninterrupted rule of anything, that's when you start getting to despotism. It's just like, no. Honestly, there needs to be, the pendulum needs to swing. If the pendulum swings, things are normal. If the pendulum does not swing, something's fucking wrong. Something's wrong. It's supposed to swing. You're supposed to get... That's why two parties exist. Other than the fact that first past the post is the most bullshit fucking anti-third party system I've ever seen in my entire life. But that's beside the point.
I mean, we're stuck with it now, so we may as well live with it.
Exactly. So the pendulum needs to swing. So you're right. Having ruled that long by any one faction is just a horrible fucking plan.
Yeah, so it's like
because humans are assholes.
Exactly. If you give them the tools for an extended period of time, sooner or later they're gonna forget why they got there in the first place. I mean, hell, we'll make a Warhammer reference. Emperor of Mankind destroys all religion, comes back 10,000 years later. There is religion about him.
Oh yeah, the Emperor's text-to-speech device, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?
What are you guys doing, you fucking morons? Dismantle the Inquisition. Dismantle the ecclesiarchy.
Dismantle everything." That's kind of what it was.
It's like, it's time to stop.
Yeah, no, it's funny because the Emperor was one of the few individuals that was actually not retarded. Out of that whole series.
Exactly.
One of the few individuals that it's okay, we can trust you to lead the Empire. That and Elanius Pius, because Elanius Pius had the largest testicles of any man in the entire series.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
If Elanius Pius stood up to Horus, you know Horus, right?
Yeah, but
he
dude,
was the
we're kind of drifted a little bit. Remember?
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, whatever.
We can talk about the Warhammer later, but see that's okay. But getting back on point. So there's the whole cultural side of things, but so what would you think? So I'm gonna go to Casey with this. So that was a lot of cultural stuff, but what do you think strategically and politically, what were some of Clinton's biggest mess ups that she made during the campaign in terms of not just the cultural stuff, but just purely political moves?
Well, one of the biggest political blunders of her campaign was assuming that, it wasn't even assumption. Oh yeah, it was an assumption, was that Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, she left the whole Rust Belt. She campaigned primarily off of the yuppies, the tech people. She got their stuff, but she didn't go to the traditional working class areas of the Democratic Party. She didn't focus enough on those. Had she focused on those
little people,
yeah, no. If she had Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, had she taken those, I don't know the math.
She would have won.
She would have won, but she neglected those, and that was a major that was one of the big blunder there, because working class whites and working class people in general were they've been the backbone of the Democratic Party, and she said she basically neglected them, either assuming that they would vote her way or not caring because the minority vote will carry me over.
Yeah, well,
that didn't happen.
Of course it didn't, and the main thing is that the funny thing is, I mean, more white people voted for Barack Obama than they did Trump, so you can't pull racist out of a hat there. And the thing is I mean, sure, she won a lot more minority vote, but the thing is, Trump won the middle class, and that goes to your point, Casey, because she just wouldn't talk to them. She thought, if I can talk to these billionaires and these poor people, they can get votes out there. well, it's like, well, I mean, the poor don't usually vote that much, and the rich, they have a lot of money, but I mean, one person, one vote. So you gotta talk to the masses, to the actual masses. So, yeah, you're right. Big blunder there. I think the other big blunder that she made was the fact that I mean, the fact that she never ever addressed any of the WikiLeaks. Never addressed them. I mean, if she did, and she like owned up to it and was like, okay, yes, I did this, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe people could have forgiven her, but the fact she just ignored it like it didn't exist.
Well, it wasn't even that. She said, if I'm correct, her campaign said something about don't believe anything that WikiLeaks posts, those are lies. She went up and said that. Like I think that was her campaign, said, yeah, don't listen to WikiLeaks. They're posting false information.
Yeah. And I mean, of course they're gonna say, and I think people figured, I mean, of course they're gonna say that because I mean, that probably just means it's more true. Because it's like, why? I mean, if it wasn't true, you wouldn't acknowledge it. But if it is true, I mean, if it is true, you have to acknowledge it, but you have to just kind of say, okay, we're sorry about this, and just do damage control. But the thing is, they tried to ignore it, and there are so many people who are paying attention, it just didn't go her way. It's just it's honestly just disappointing because I mean, I wish they had something to offer these days. I mean, I wish the Democrats had something something that they could do, but it's just they've completely lost the plot. It's done. It's over. It's like what. Yeah, so I guess we'll end this on a somewhat we'll end this on a constructive note. So like, what do you think the Democrats have to do in order to start getting back into power and to start getting back into power, get some more seats in the House, Senate, whatever?
They need to become more moderate. They need to ditch the crazies. This goes for both sides. You need to ditch the crazies. Crazies aren't going to get you anywhere. They're fanatics. They'll be a reliable vote, but they're small and they'll alienate your moderate members. Case in point, the SJWs, and then all those other people, right?
Yeah,
so
I think
become more moderate.
Well, I think the larger point on that, if we're addressing the Democrats, is ditch the progressives. Just ditch them because they're not helping you.
You mean the regressives?
The same thing. They call themselves progressives, but it's basically.
But they're not. They're actual regressives. The actual true progressives don't say anything. That's the thing.
Well, the thing is, the true progressives are mostly politically homogenous, and in this case, most of them probably went to Trump or didn't vote at all.
Okay, so ditch the regressives if we're gonna go
ditch the Young Turks, ditch Lacey Green, ditch Anita Sarkeesian, ditch all the regressives, and basically say, okay, you know what? We will stop calling most of America all these names, and we will start engaging in arguments again.
Actual logical arguments.
Yeah, I mean, we will start engaging in logical and factual arguments, even though we'll probably lose for the first couple of years because we don't really know how to do it. But I mean, you guys got to get back to it because I mean, when you can't do that, I mean, you basically lost. It's just disappointing. But I mean, I guess that's one thing they could do. I mean, and also Casey. I mean, what's some piece of advice you could throw in?
Go where the energy is. That's all I can say. Go where the energy is. The reason why is, although Clinton had, I think, double or triple the funding Trump had, there was no energy behind her.
Absolutely low energy.
The thing is if you went to any person who was like, who was gonna vote Hillary, most of them, there's a couple people, namely women, they would vote for her because, she's a woman, but most people, they're like, we're not voting Hillary because we like Hillary. We're voting Hillary because we don't like Trump. The thing with Trump, he had energy behind his stuff. He had people going for him. And the same thing with Sanders. He had energy behind him. People were genuinely energized for Sanders. And they said, they crucified him and made him an example to the party and said, "No, you can't have this. We can't have this."
Yeah.
And I just say go where the energy is, and don't try to astroturf energy either. Make sure it's genuine.
And also, if you're gonna get young people, you know, just speak your message and have the energy. Don't try to meme yourself. Don't try to use the memes. Just don't do it. It's not gonna work. Young people won't like
Pokemon,
it.
go to the polls.
God damn it. I can express nothing but pure disappointment.
Like, I'm like grandma. Base, corrupt grandma.
It's time to go home.
Time to go home, take your meds, and go to bed. Because you're not winning. You're not winning the young people over. Your memes have to be spicy. Those memes were stale and shitty.
Exactly.
God damn. If memes were food, like...
If memes were
Be like,
food,
what is this
if memes were food, hers are like a year past the expiration date.
well,
And British.
memes... and British. Trump's memes are like spicy Italian pasta. Made by the finest Italian chefs. Spicy as fuck.
Very zesty. Yeah, I think
So,
probably
right.
I think probably the piece of advice I could give though. So Elliot, yours was cake. So Casey's was go where the energy is. Elliot's was ditch the regressives. I think mine is gonna be you know, just try to work with the Republicans. Try to work with them. And don't just write them all off, because the thing is, the majority of those people didn't vote for Trump because they necessarily liked him. They voted for him because you scared them. And it's, realize that you've scared the crap out of these people. Most of them aren't going to vote for you again. So you gotta just... Oh, what are you sending me, Casey? Oh, whatever. You gotta friggin'...
God damn it.
Yeah, you gotta... Guys, I can't take it serious. Casey, why'd you put that up there? I'll put that up later. No, I'm not going to put that up on the stream. That's a little NSFW.
It's not even NSFW. How is that NSFW?
I mean, do you really want me to put a retarded swastika on the video?
Yes, because it's retarded.
Nah.
Just like Nazism, it's retarded.
Yeah, just like Nazism, it is retarded. I'll put it. Maybe in post production, or maybe not. I don't know. But
Hail
yeah.
Hitler.
No, it's a Hoyle Holtler. It's something I don't know. It's something stupid.
The Down syndrome swastika.
Pretty much. But yeah. Ditch the progressives, go where the energy is, and try to reconcile with your former voters. That's all I can tell you guys. Good luck.